Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Topham at the third at your service. Now we're going to talk about hope because this is a very serious topic indeed, and a lot of you are going to get a lot of truth out of this because while I was in the steelworks, I had a card given to me with hope written on it. Right? A lot of people might think, what the hell does hope mean? I said, well, hope means that the future is going to be bright. Yes, it's going to be a little bit hard. It's going to be a little bit truthful in this. There's a lot of things that are floating about that need to be rectified. It's true. It's logic. It's fact. You're not going to change that. But a lot of people do not fully understand what's unfolded because it's realistic. This is where it's not a joke. I'm not laughing about this. I'm trying to be serious and strict and stern at the same time, trying to help people out at the same time. People have gone to arm's length to try and get you and your mind sorted, right? A lot of people, like the experimental engines, should not work for the NSFT as example, boot them out, fire them out, because they don't deserve their jobs, alright? I know certain people within the fleet, right? I get it. But like I said, the experimental engines do not own by me, right? I know people from people, right? I know connections within connections, right? A lot of people don't have the time to do this. I get that. And I get the point that the jobs are overwhelming you. You're probably overloaded. You've probably been packed. You've been overrated. You've been not trying to sort yourselves out. I said, did you ever realise why your ancestors kept their gob shuts about this? I said, it's all unfolded in a correct way. And it's just like saying, yeah, well, wake up and smell the damn coffee because it's all waking up. But hope, it's a word I was given while I was in the steelworks, which is Helston Hospital. Right? I get that. Right? A lot of people need hope and respect. When people know things about me, they keep their gob shut. Let it play out. But when you've got experimental engines running about, you need to destroy them. Basically, you need just to push them to one side or give them a lower grade job because they're not meant to work in high places. Right? Their own personality should wake them up and smell the damn coffee. When a lot of hope is given to you, as example, we don't have the luxury to give it straight away. Right? We know that the Iron Swan song is turning into a swan song, which is true. We won't lie on that. But there's a lot to be thinking about here. You know, it's a lot to take in again and again. People want to test my brain out. I said, look, what's your step? Because you're getting the answer straight away. Right? You know the answers are coming out as truth. It's logic, it's fact. You can't ignore it. And every part of what you watch, what you read, what you see, and everything else and hear, it unfolds correctly. When it all unfolds correctly in front of you, you just think it's a load of BS. I said, no, it isn't. It's taken a lot of length and time to try to help people out as much as they can. The information has to mostly had to stay private because of these obvious reasons. But then you got to realise it's helping people to a point. Then you, like I said, in the end of the day, there should be a rule against rules. You know, there's a law about the hats. There's a law about everything, but which is not stated in public. Why? Because we are safeguarded through the life. Right? We get that. Right? There are people that don't fully understand it at this moment. Right? The younger generation from the ages of 12, 15, that age range anyway, haven't fully understood what's unfolded properly. They're only getting bits and bobs from their parents to try and get them on the right track, to get them going again, basically. And you have to let that unfold as well. So when the hope is told you from the steelworks, told me that, I said, leave them alone. Because I got a contact on the inside that will shut you up. I said, he will bloody put you in the right. And he says, yeah, he is. Just anagram my name, will you? Because it's all facts, it's all truth, it's all logic. Right? Things come in a good time. StreamYard, YouTube, and Google knew about me, but they couldn't say it out loud. Now it's unfolding, people will start waking up. Right? There are times where people, like the experimental engines, have to go bye bye. because it's true, because they're not part of my fleet, right? There are people on the outside that know me too well, right? I'm not bullshitting with that, right? When you think of hope, you normally think of Superman and Clark Kent, right? Which is what Christopher Reeve did, right? He stated nothing is impossible, right? And then you got Grant Dustin, who plays the Flash, saying believe in an impossible because it happens. When it does happen, then you just say right, boom, 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 boom. Right? People get confused up here to start off with, but then they have to think a little bit of timing. Sometimes when a lot of things unfold naturally, which they do, you don't push them to one side and just ask questions, ring them up constantly on a record. I said you're gonna get really burnt by this or scarred by this because you need to work it out yourself and realize, oh shit, right? When everything unfolds in front of you, right? There's a time limit for everything, right? For every movie, for every part of the series, and everything else. It doesn't include the 2D of Thomas the Tank and Friends, right? I want you to understand when things change over the years, they often put themselves in the wrong predicament, right? We all knew it's true. We know it's true. You've been brought up to know the truth. But it's like saying, I read the Thomas Tank books, but I never knew how real it was or how physically real it is. But now you're starting to see the other side of it, which is very confusing for a lot of people. Still, right? I get that. When you know it's all happening in truth, why don't you just leave it alone and let it play out? Why? In the end of the day, I don't expect to be pushing, pulling, pushing, pulling, pushing, and pulling, and you see it in real life. I'm not saying it's a lie, right? The staff of the Helston Hospital saw it. I'm not going to mention names, but I say I gave them a strict order to behave, right? They didn't need lecturing. Then when I tried to boot myself out of there, the staff had to stop me, which they shouldn't done. Danger. Why? Because the truth was out. But then they didn't put the two together to work it out. Then when they will start watching Thomas Tank, the actual movie of Journey Beyond Sodor, it clicked. Then they realised what they saw was magic. They saw what was witnessing was the truth, the logic and respect. But I had to keep going. I went back there the second time to get James out. So it's all real. Don't mess around with something that's unfolded, because I'm not laughing about it anymore. Sometimes I can laugh about it now because it's happened. Right? The experimental engines should not work for NSFT ever again. Right? Because they are so experimental, there's only a lot to do with it. Right? A lot of people think this is what? It's real, it's true, it's fact, and hope is on the way. We need to think of that hope. That hope is myself and Lady Hatt herself. I found her on top. Right? But you have to let it play out a bit now. Because sometimes you don't even realise why our family reunites. Why there's the reunion in play. Why it has to play out the way it should. Why? My family is very gifted for a very long time. The NHS should really put their foot down and say, we are sorry. We are sorry. And now they got the foot end of it and they got the end of stick end of it. Right? I don't expect my experimental engines to come down my way and say, how are you? Boom, 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 and get out of my building. Right? A lot of people don't realise why. Hope is the key to all of this. Right? When everything unfolds in front of you, you don't piss about with it. Right? I get the drill that there's a lot of people that need a lot of thinking on this. I get where you're coming from. You need a lot of thinking. Sometimes I have to get serious and be cross with the North Norfolk Railway because they have to be recorrect themselves and understand. I need an apology from them as much as the experimental engines. That's two. Then there's one more, right? The community is going to survive through this, but they got to work out why. Did we help this man when he was younger? And we didn't even spotlight. There was only one individual that did. Here's my private connection, my ad, which I will not mention, right? Then he put all the pieces together in his own time and never said nothing until I wised. Ding ding. Right, it all adds up. When the clues have been put in front of you, you do not meddle with it. Why? Because it's all been set in stone before your time, before you were born, before you were raised, before your understanding of it. You see, books on the shelf, books online, doesn't matter. The fact is, the facts are coming out. Right? The truth is coming out. But it's taken me ages and ages to put you right. It's taken me it takes a long time just to say, look, it's real, it's realistic, you can't change it. Right? You screwed up, not me. Right? We all knew it was going to hit you right in the face. I knew it was going to hit you in the face at first. 10,000k views on the very first video. Now you're telling me, like, what? Yeah, you'll drop jaws like that. Yeah, well, now you've got to be realistic. Now, the people that are 12, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, you're going to be talking to your mother and your father on this because you need the details. You need the facts. Why it's come to light. Right? People knew about it, so did Audrey. My ad. Audrey stated Stephen Topham Hatt is in play because he's managed to put my life in the book. Right? When you read that book in reverse as well, it adds up. But then things start to rattle in your head. Makes you aware, self-aware of it. Self-system in your head. We talk about it, and the cops knew about this, but they can't say nothing. They had to let it play out. Right? In the day, I'm a lot more than what you expect. Right? A lot of people don't even realise what's unfolded. They don't put it together because a lot of people don't read books or watch the television show or watch the movies because they don't have time. They don't have the pressure. They don't want to know, or they're just bothered with thinking and bothering having their own lives in play. I said, did you know there's the DNA code in your head as well as your bloodline telling you exactly what to know, what to do? Physically, mentally, and all of that. That's all true to a point. But with the experimental engines, goodbye. It's the words to express them. But because they're not part of the future, right? You have to exclude them right out of the picture, right? Lexi will lose her job. Hurricane will lose their job. Merlin will lose his job. Why? Because they're a bunch of experimental engines. Right? Because they're not owned by me by direction or approach. End of the day, you want hope? You've got to be very patient. Right? Because a lot of facts are all in truth. Yes. Connections, no connections. Yes. But Theo's been monitoring the NHS. So work it out. So when Theo's doing all the work, ding, 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 it all adds up. So when everything has been going back to family, it monitors the red flag to get my rest of my family back to me. So work it backwards and go forwards, then it click, click, clicks. Because the journey beyond Sodor is finished. Right? That's part of the story. It's ended. Right? All I have to do is kick out one engine, bang! Solve that problem. But because there's a lot about me that's unfolding in truth, but you have to let it unfold. Hope is the key to all of it. Hope for the future. The future that's already written for us, but we have to play it out correctly. Right? A lot of people don't realise it until it hits them. Right? I'm not going to be talking about this every day. This has got to stop with all this BS in front of my face. Right? All of it's true, all of it's facts, all of it's all realistic. It's just the way it plays out in front of your eyes. Right? A lot of people in the diesel team have their own informants as well as the steam team has. Right? We know that. But while it's playing in front of you, you've got to get realistic. Then you're going to look at my timeline and say, we fucked up, we need to fix this. Now, because it's realistic. Right? I know a lot of people are not to blame, but there's only 3 people to blame. Hurricane, Lexi, and Merlin from the NSFT. And it all adds up. Boot them out, you've got rid of them. Why? Because you don't need them. Okay, look, a lot of problems that you don't see, you just can't click. They want something so bloody badly, they want to know everything. How is my life? How is this? How is that? It's fine. It's just the way it plays out with me. I don't have the luxury. Right? When people want something bad enough, it's coming your way. Gently, smoothly, respectfully, trustworthy. You want all of. It's like saying what Duck said to me when I was younger. I want respect. I want respect. I said, wait, Duck. Respect will come later. Because obviously a lot of the storyline is in the muddle right now. Right? You got to let it play out. When it all unfolds in natural course, you're going to say, the Norfolk Railway screwed it up for you. Stage 1. Put me in hospital. Stage 2. Right? I'm not going through all that shit again. Right? Doctors have to come to terms with everything. But it's going to take them a while before they can click. They know it's realistic now. They've got to leave me alone. It's just with facts always have to unfold naturally every day as it would. But I have to go moving on forward a bit. You know, when we talk about Journey Beyond Sodor, that's gone. That chapter's gone because I already closed that book and said, leave them alone, pack it in. Right? Lexi won't pack it in. Joe Newman from the NSFT won't leave me alone. She's not doing what she is meant to be doing. All she sees is me and Thomas, blah, 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 go. Right? End of the day, that's what's unfolding right now because she's trying to see if I can bypass her. I said the reason that is because of M&GN's fucking Facebook. Friends, connections. Right? When you got M&GN's on the fucking line, excuse my language, it's all true. It's all facts. When you think about it, it's all logical. Why did Lexi come into the fold? It's because of M&GN's on Facebook. It's like losing a friend, but I'm not. She just hasn't been mature enough to realise what a fuck up she did. So, with me knowing that, and my mother adding her as a friend, right, I've been honest with her, but she's been dishonest with herself because she's already passed the buck. One of her friends become the connection. Right? That's why the NSFT is involved. Why? Because it goes through Joe Newman, then it goes through their contacts. Then everything comes together slowly, and I'm now telling them, stop it. You've done it for 3 years, now it's my turn to finishing it off. Completo. Make sure everybody gets the hope they need. Hope takes a long time, right? But you got to be realistic. When they're all the time in this world that people don't realise this is unfolding the truth in front of their eyes, I said Even my private connections stated it. You're there to fix the timeline. But how could I fix the timeline if they're all bugging me? It's there in black and white. I'm not going to argue with you or debate with you or lie to you or be deceitful against you. That's not me. Right? You basically got the best side of me. The best side of the fat controller, the best side of the Thomas, everything. But if the NHS had their way, they could have killed off us all. They will track us all down, all at once. And everything will go bang, 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 right. But it isn't. It's turning from Iron Swan Song to Swan Song. So it enables my wife to click in. I'm not going to be saying click, 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 click and say, here we go, bang. Why? I don't need that Island Swan Song, nor do you. Why? I understand the Norfolk where they screwed up so bloody badly, they will lose all their volunteers and employees because they can't believe the truth. Why? Because they lost something. Oh, have they lost one piece? Yes, me. I'm their boss. I'm their reputation. I'm everything. We both are on the same level. But to the point, I'm telling them to grow up, and I'm telling them watch it because it's unfolding in the correct way. Don't don't expect it's gonna come in one day because it won't. We get that, but there's a lot to be think about. Yes, but it has to play out correctly to do it for you. You can't just ask questions in my flat because that's wrong. Because I won't give you any more answers. I won't give you that. I will just tell you I'm okay. Don't worry. Right? A lot of people like M&GN and all of that, right? She found out the truth, yes, but she should slip it. Let it play out is the word to express it. Because Duck is another thing. You see, Duck has already been through all this shit, right? We've both been in this shit. So did my grandfather. So did my grandfather on my father's side. We all been through this shit. I said, why did you not learn the first time? Because you were reading the books, but not putting the facts in your head. Right? When people do the work and put the effort in and unanagram it themselves, they get realistic. Right? When everything unfolds in natural course, you have to let it play unfoldedly in truth. Britt Orcroft knew this. My friends know about this. My connections knew about this. I said, why don't you all grow up and learn the truth? Because the truth is there right in front of you. You've been arguing about this from day one. I said, from the day I was born, only a 10-year-old girl knew about this. Why? Besides all that, then my connections started to know about it, and then my friends and family. All connected, not all at the same time. That came later. It all played out in the correct way for you, but you all screwed up. When people see my name, Matthew Stephen Manson, which is actually an anagram, it's Stephen Topham Hatt the Third. Sir Stephen Topham Hatt the Third. Grow up. I'm your only hope, your only support line. Right? If I go, the world will fall apart. Right? But you don't want that. You've got so much truth in this, you don't realise what is unfolding because you don't know what's the logic in this. Right? The people that are younger than 40 years old will not fully understand yet. Why? Because they're still in that, what you call, sentimental stage, where they're not thinking straight. They've got school, they've got high school, primary schools and all of this. I said they should learn reverse psychology. Right? It's all true, it's all logic, and it's fact. When it all comes to you to the black and white, I said people knew about me before I was born. So when you realise that everything was unfolding in the correct way, While all of this is all happening, you're basically screwing your lives up because you don't believe it. I said, why don't you guys grow up? Why don't you start acting maturely enough to realise don't intervene in my bloody own private timeline? When you're intervening, you're basically screwing up everything. Right? I'm not going to have that screw up because I've changed it to the Iron Swan song to Swan song. I'm not going to be pissed about anymore. Right? The experimental engines are going to die anyway. Why? Because they're not part of my fleet. They're just bugging me, and bugging me and delaying me. So when that unfolds that way, right, it will go the other way and it will end up dead. For them. For me, I'll be alright. Hope is the key to everything here. It's the way it plays out in front of your eyes when you're not seeing it. When you're in Norwich and you see them face to face, Joe Newman and Graham and Dr. Wallace and all of that, that's Merlin. Bang, 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 that's them. Why boot them out? Fire them. Because they're only just delaying the edible. When you realise why, they could have casual jobs in a bloody kitchen or something like that. Because they're not fit for heavy work. Right? In the day, you're actually dealing with a real life event, and which is why it's unfolded the way it did. Right? When it all unfolds in front of you, people sift it up. Keep their mouths shut. Let it play out. Why? Because no one's in danger except the danger that could hit you. You know, this is why my family's done a lot more hard work for you, and you're basically telling us to fuck off, excuse my language, and basically saying, yeah, well, hope is the only hope left now. It's me and my wife and my kids. Basically, you've got what you need, you just got to wait for it now. Be patient, will you? Because it takes a lot of time. Sometimes it takes years to find out who you are, and what you do. For the living, we don't have the luxury. Right? We have to work hard. It may look like, oh, are you stressed or you're tired or that? I said, don't worry about me. Because the truth is out. Right? You got your hope. Now you just got to wait till the other side clicks. Right? I'm not going to be bullshitting. When I go into the Albion as an example, I don't want to be BSing, saying, oh, it's Matthew. I will say, watch out. Because in the day, I don't like to be disrespected. The only person that can call me Matthew is Cena. And that's why. Right? There's a lot of bloody truth in this. Hope is the key. My friends could call me Matthew. But my connections, Sir Topham the Third. Stephen Topham the Third. But people just don't put the dots together to realise it. There's still a lot of time. You got the experimental engines to get rid of. M&GN is a bloody problem of this. And she's on Facebook. If I could get rid of her, poof. And if she loses me as a friend, that's it. Because in the day, it's all true what's unfolding in truth. I said, don't bother because the truth is out. You know, when you want something, I have to recorrect a lot of things. I don't have the luxury like everybody else, like going out for dinners and going out for drinks a little bit. Okay, I drink, but I don't drink alcohol or smoke or anything like that. You can put that off in your minds because if I was pissed, that'd be a different kettle of ball. I said, no, 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 no. In the end of the day, you're meddling with something you shouldn't do. StreamYard knew about me. Google knows about me. YouTube knows about me. I said it's all bloody true. But why you are bloody sitting down like rubber donkeys, Len? You know it's unfolding in truth. Why don't you just let it unfold naturally? A lot of the community should have stand up for me and said, yeah, let's YouTube this in separate channels and say, yeah, Stephen Topham does exist. Boom, boom, boom. then it will get me off the hook a little bit. Then it will just tell the NSFT to file the 3 people out. I said only Hurricane, Merlin, and Lexi. Joe Newman, Graham, and Dr. Wallace. Right? The last doctor that we had in the fleet was Dr. Fox. And if you don't believe me, I've got his name on record. So work it forward. When I was born, that doctor I cannot name, he witnessed it and he actually said, right, that's Stephen Topham Hatt the third, ding. Then the birth certificate was under an anagram name as Matthew Stephen Manson. So work it out. When you're on anagram, it's Stephen Topham Hatt the third. So get real. You got your hope. You got everything. Just grow up. The story that's unfolding for you right now is a very difficult one for you to unravel in your heads. When I anagram it, boom boom, which I do a lot of, it keeps your mind active. It keeps your mind going without realizing it's real life. Written in your head and then it goes into the sky. Then it goes on the books. Right? When people don't realize this, like Britt Allcroft, she's written the head of schedule. So work it out. She's like Wagner Wester, a head of schedule. Hidden facts you didn't know about. Things you did not know about. Things that you did not know about my life. I said it's all unfolding in a correct way, yes. But now you've got the adult version coming right in front of your face. Now you're growing up and learning this. Now you're thinking, oh shit. Yeah, well, your wages could be reducted. Right? That's one example. Things will add up. The swan song will add up because my children will come into play. And they will fix the timeline as well. So work it out, goes forward, forward, forward. When you reach Emily Helen Hatt, then there's a clue in this. I will give out a secret riddle here. Right? A lot of people know there's an anagram embedded in all of this, right? For my granddaughter in some aspects, right? A lot of people know a lot of things, right? Very head schedule, and they know what to unfold, right? They don't need to come to me all the time. They just leave me alone, will you? No, I'm not blaming the Albion group. I'm not blaming Cromer. I'm not blaming Sheringham for this, or anybody in West London or Norwich as such. But when you talk about people online, which they do, I said, look, they know things, but they have to learn to sip it. When they're in public, they have to do it by code. Way code. It's not easy. You know, when I stick my ground and put my foot down, I talk about it in a group adult fashion. When it's all realistic, you don't want to know. But when it's all bloody shown in your face, then you're saying, what shit? Yeah, well, a lot of it is all adding up now. In every angle. So when it all adds up, you see you're getting what you need, but you have to be patient. Patience is key, as much as hope. But you have to be patient on everything. I know it unfolds in a very odd way, but I'm not being left alone. What the NSFT is doing is basically screwing up everything up. So they're not leaving me alone to a full degree anyway. So they're screwing me up a lot and making me like, what the fuck? Yeah, well, grow up. In the end of the day, when something comes to you, leave it alone after you've done 3 years of work. Leave it alone. Because it's a closed book on them. Right? I get that. The experimental engine's got to bug off. You know, you get that. I get the point why it's all connected. But when it unfolds in front of you, not the 14-year-olds or the 15-year-olds, the adults are seeing it in full whack glory. Right? They weren't laughing. They weren't joking. They weren't, you know what I mean? They were dead serious about it. They knew what was unfolding. They had to play it out the way it should. And at the end of the day, you're going to end up saying, shit, we did fuck our life up. Now I'm trying to prevent you from doing it more damage and more damage and more damage. I know a lot of people say we don't want to intervene in your private life. I said, conf- what conflict of interest is what you call it. And then at the end of the day, you realise what the fuck. You know, when people know things, they keep their mouths shut about it and let it play out. Regardless, it's been always the best thing in life, but it's the actual. A lot of my family has a lot of hard work to put into this, and they don't want to see it all go the other way. When it all comes back to you, you're going to start asking, why is hope needed? Why is this hope? I said hope was the word I was given to me when I was in the steelworks. Hope, right? We all look up to Superman and Clark Kent. Christopher Reeve gave it the first clue automatically, right? Everything played out the way it should, yeah. I know he died, don't get me wrong, but the thing is, while all of this is all happening, all in truth, people start picking up pieces and then adding in, adding in. And then people asking, why did we do this action? Or why did we do this action? And why did we do this action? I said, look, the experimental engines should have stopped what they're doing, but they're not taking it seriously. I said, we shouldn't be interfering. We shouldn't be doing this anymore. Why? Because we've got the truth, logic, and a respect for it. I don't expect my family to go through all of this all my life. Why? Just when a lot of people know what's unfolding in truth. Why? Well, the rest of was ahead of schedule. Yes, so did Britt Orcroft. Why? Let my company, Mattel, manage to put the X seasons for you in. Now, season 24 ended, bang, the real life version comes into play. The facts are being put into the other version. Then you're asking why it's all added up. Then you see the kids, you see my wife and me all at once. Very quickly, 5 minute episode, 10 minute episode, it all adds up. It's all there, flaming black and white, even the movies, not the 2D. Because that's my son, who does it for 2 years, then my granddaughter finishes it off. So work it backwards and go forward on that one. It all adds up. The truth was there in black and white. So end of the day, my family is bigger than your money's worth, your pocket's worth. I said we are very, very strong and powerful family. We don't bullshit. We straight to the point. We always get the point across. I'm not going to be writing a book on this because it's all live on YouTube. You guys thought it was all balmy. I said, look, my connections are going to talk to their families. Talk, 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 and saying it's no bullshit, straight to the point. My connections are doing that. My private connections are doing it. Why? Because we keep in contact the hard way round. We don't always lay in front of our faces all the time. So when you want something hard, you wait for it until it unfolds. Don't piss me about, will you? Or I'm going to put the cops on the NSFT. And I don't need being harassed, which is what harassment is one thing. Asking for questions is the other. I know the law has its own restrictions, but when you always want things to happen unfoldedly in truth, you can't exploit the truth when it's unfolding in truth. Right? When you watch more than the rest of this timeline, it adds up. It comes together slowly. Hope. The Iron Swan song is gone. It's gone to Swan Song now. Because the truth is out. when my friend, my private connection said, "You're there to fix the timeline." And she was right. I'm not gonna bullshit. Right? I'm not I'm not just doing this on a regular basis. I'm trying to get you to open eyes. The steelworks provided me hope, a word hope, on card. Right? One of my private connections was working for the NHS from the inside of Helston Hospital, not just my cousin. So work it out. I know people. I know connections. I know friends and family on top. So if you want to mess around with me, right, be my guest, because all you're going to get is a lock and key mode direction and say you can't bug me anymore. Why? Because sometimes you have to let the story unfold properly, but you need to know where you stand in it. You can't continue as a loop for Journey Beyond Sodor all the time, because all you're doing is delaying the edible. And all you're doing is like Journey Beyond Sodor, it's like being time loop, time loop. I said, how many times are you going to bug me until a lot of people realise what is unfolded? I said, it's all in truth. The experimental engines will get fired and they will lose their jobs. And then things will start to add up. Right? One of my fleet, my main fleet, from engine 1 to 12, and a lot more, may I add, right? They start to know things that you don't know, right? Henry told you one thing about the 1,000 years. Then you got Gordon, which is my step uncle. Ding ding. Then you got then it adds up with James, obviously being my Sir Top of that the first, but it's passed on to a family friend connection on that side. Then you add in, then it goes to Percy, who is one of my friends directly. Then it goes to Toby, based in Orsted / Norwich, right? A lot of people have safeguard locations, right? If any of the NSFT breaks their safeguards, you're dead meat by me, right? Because I don't take what you carry on as facts, it's truth, it's logic, and respect. That's why Henrietta managed to safeguard my station near Orsted. Why? It's true, it's fact, it's logic. When hope has been brought to you, you use that bloody hope in your head. There's respect for me as it is for you, because you've all been part of the Thomas franchise. But then people have to wake up and smell the bloody coffee on it. Right? When I got a half sibling called Douglas, and then it makes my great uncle Donald 9 and 10. What does that tell you? If you work this anagram out, because I know a lot of people know the truth on this one, right? It's telling you in facts, right? Let me give you a number that will shut you up, that will open your eyes a bit. How do you know from your date of birth to everything, right? Nobody lies on this, nor does telephone numbers. Don't lie on this, right? Let me give you a hint. Wink, wink. Right? There's a lot of things you want to know. Right? There's anagrams everywhere. Right? You want to know the truth? I give you the fucking truth. I'm not angry with everybody, but I'm just particular, not very happy with the NSFT. Right? Because they screwed up. Right? One thing, all they have to do is leave me alone. Let it play out. Because effectively, they're asking the same flaming down questions on me on everything. Right, so when Helston Hospital, the steelworks, knows the truth, they've got to keep their mouth shut and delivered. Let it play out. But if they're going to keep looping like a loopy dog, whatever you want to call it, They're only destroying themselves. Why? Because they learn the truth, they're gaining the truth, and they're respecting the truth. You can't lie on what you see and hear. Right? I get there are a lot of people out there that want me in a bad position right now. Right? I get that. Some people want the other side, want the actual hope they need. You see, you've done it to my grandfather. You've done it to my grandfather, Sir Topham the first, and now you're trying to do it on me. Pack it in. You know, that's you're playing with a dangerous real life event here. I know it's like a game. To you guys, it's like a game, but it isn't. It's real life, right? I'm gonna give you some anagrams now because it's getting to an hour, and I thought I'd better shut you shut you up a little bit, right? What happens is there's a lot of numbers in play in this, and I'm want to express it because I want you to understand it's real, it's logic, and it's fact. Right? When people don't watch my YouTube channel and don't know jack shit, excuse my language, I said let's give you an old number that you can work with. Right? 838158. Right? The bottom number represents my father. Right? The other number, 81, right? Because you have to add it together to make the full number. It's actually my mother, right? And then you add 83, which is me. So work it out now, you stupid morons. The truth is there. 838158, activate. So the truth is there in black and white. You see, when you want hope, you're destroying your hope. Because the truth is there in black and white. You see, the truth is all there in black and white. When you realise what the hell's going on, it's all facts, it's all logic, it's all truth. But in the same day, you you're refusing it to be realistic. But it is realistic. It's gone beyond the book. You're seeing the adult version of my life. In real life. You're not pissing about. So now it's all coming to light. Right? I'm not going to give you all the anagrams because they are privatised to my family and their DNA and my DNA. Combined. When you want something bad enough, stop harassing us. Right? When it comes down to my family again, it goes through 837740. Right? I'm 40 years today, which is true. 83 is the year I was born, and 77 makes 14. And it goes back to my granddaughter. So grow up. When you want something bad enough, don't piss me about. Because the facts are there in fucking truth. When you want something bad enough, look at your own telephone numbers. Look at your own debit cards. It all adds up. Even realistic facts on all of this. It's all there in black and white for me to know. Need to know basis. When people are connected to me, they can't use me. Friend, family, and connection. It's all there in black and white for you, but don't bloody blame me because it's all facts. It's all truth. It's all logic. When it all comes together, it brings it together slowly. You want it there and then. Hope, hope. I said get rid of the experimental engines then. First. You're dealing with Joe Newman, Graham, and Dr. Wallace. Get rid of them and you will have what you need. You gotta get rid of those three before I can move forward. So in the day, they're harassing me, calling me, wanting to know how what I am doing and all that shit in real life. I said, you're watching the real life version of Thomas the Tank of Friends. Get real. You know, when it's all there in black and white for you, the NHS has got all the proof they need. But they can't say nothing because they have to keep their mouths shut. Do you realise why it unfolds the way it does? I'm not losing another 30 years because of you. It's facts, it's truth, and it's logic. It's respect and all. When you want something bad enough, Chroma knows this too damn well. Sharing them should pick up on this and realise, oh fuck. Yeah, they will be saying, oh fuck. But I'm not swearing for the worst for it, but I'm saying for the best of it. Right? The people that are 40 or 50 years old today should tell their kids, I am real, not fiction, in every angle. So grow up. When I fight for something and your needs on top, then ask the questions. Don't fuck around with your future, because you are messing your future up, because Lexi's trying to do that. Joe Newman from NSFT. So work it out. It's going the way it should, but I've just got that hurdle to over. End of the day, when people want something bad enough, complain on M&GN for fucking me up, for a snooper trap. I said, yeah, well, don't go near me. If you respect me, you leave me alone. Let it play out, because family is reuniting. For once in your bloody lives, be happy. It takes a long time to realise what has unfolded. You can't meddle with the future. When you read the what I got in my head, which I know I'm recorrecting right now, right? You guys are like sitting there like shit. Yeah, well, it's a giant mess up, isn't it, for you guys? With the Norfolk Railway booted me out, they screwed up their timeline. So what do you think will happen next when everything goes pear-shaped for them? While I'm here, safeguarded, and well respected, I may be sweary because I'm kicking off, because I've been honest with you. I said hope is everywhere, but you need to learn where to find it. You can't screw it up. I get that experimental engines are a big, big problem right now. They're about to lose their jobs because they can't work around their heads. I said the truth is there on screen, on paper, and what they write, what they detailed, wise, and everything. I said I don't need them at my door. That's that. Right? In the day, you got the truth right in front of you. I can't keep running around in circles to get the truth for you. My family's been safeguarding me and one individual. Right? And every day you're bloody pissing them off. As it is, you're rattling their cages and you can't find them because half of them are dead and some of them are alive from different locations around the UK. And when they reveal, they will do it. But when they get round the corners and edges and so forth, you got this, you got that, and you want this, you want that. I said, what do you bloody damn need now? Right, I know what your needs are before I unfold them. You know when my friend stated in America, what you're seeing is what you're unfolding in front of you. But you're fucked up somewhere. We talk about hope, which is what the NHS provided. Of course I've got informants inside the NHS, plus the NSFT. Of course they screwed up, the NSFT did. But they buggered up. Like I said, things around you knows what's unfolding. You just need the right individuals to say, yeah, He's bloody telling the truth of everything. Yeah, well, you want my family? If you want my family dead, as example, that's your fault. But I don't want to be dead. Nor does my family. But we have nearly what you call, we are on a flaming tight, very tight timer. My time is ticking. I already got what I need, not want. Why? Because I had to be patient, right? A lot of it, a lot of the younger people around me may not have as much patience. I get that. But when it's unfolding in front of you, you don't lie about it because it's the truth. You got people trying to wiggle themselves out and say, you're a liar, pants on fire. I said, no, I'm bloody well aren't. It's all there, black and white for you, right? The experimental agents should be fired. Dr. Wallace, Merlin, if you like to call him correctly. Then you got Lexi, Joe Newman, and then you've bloody got Graham, who's Hurricane. I said, leave them alone, but get rid of them. They don't deserve their jobs. I said, if you want something bad enough, they're not designed for heavy work. They're not designed for that. I said they're better off out of the NSFT department. Right? In the end of the day, they're harassing me. They know it's unfolding and everything else. Why? It's all truth. It's hope coming in. Ding, ding, ding. Recorrecting this timeline is a little bit difficult. When my private connection is monitoring me and my connections around the globe, they're monitoring me to make sure I do the right moves all the time. When you want something on a plate, grow up. You just can't see it until it unfolds in front of you. And the end of the day, you're screwing yourselves up, you're meddling with something, it's true, it's logic, it's facts. Don't mess around it. You're seeing what's unfolding. I know there's people in sharing them that want me dead and buried. I said they won't get that now. Right? There are people out there in real life that want to do serious damage. There are a lot of people that want to give you all the hope you need. I said the experimental agents in the NSFT department have to leave me alone. Period. Right? When the truth comes out, bang. I've been providing the truth from day one. No lies, no deceits. So I can't be Diesel 10. So you can rule that out. So in the day, grow up. It's facts, it's logic, it's truth. I said it's all in truth, so don't mess around with it. It's unfolding in the correct way, but you're just damaging it a little bit here and there. But when a lot of this is all involves around why does the NSFT bother you? I said, did you realise they only come in thinking they got every right? I said, they've got no fucking money left now. That's their bloody problem. They moan, they groan, and they want this. Why? I said the needs are better than the wants. When we talk about needs and wants, that's another thing. Yes, of course you need this and this and this. So when you want something, don't piss about. Because I've been monitoring everybody. It's not just a storyline, it's everything. When that's all unanagrammed out, poof. I don't get confused.com, you do. So people are now questioning a lot of problems, which I would say. Right? A lot of people don't realise how realistic they are. So when it all comes to light and truth, don't piss about. You know, when it's all facts, it's all truth, and it's all logic. So when you got 83 7 7 40, you're ending up with everything. So get real. Get the facts right before you mouth off. As an example, you're dealing with something that's unfolding in front of you. A lot of you may not see it unfold because you're living in different locations. So when it unfolds in front of you, then you're not laughing. You're not joking. You will have to take it seriously. Because when it unfolds in front of you, you're lucky. So when you want something so bad enough, grow up. Because it's unfolding in truth, yes, but a lot of this is a lot of details that you can't really understand right now. You've got your head in the clouds, not working it out yet, and then when it comes to you, then it will say shit, and it all adds up. So when you want something bad enough, don't cry wolf when something bad happens, because then I end up clearing up the mess. Why? When it comes down to the Norfolk Railway is another example. I said they're the biggest screw up in the world right now. They lie, they deceit, they con artists right now. Why? Because they've been dishonest with you. They haven't been respectful. I see what they're up to, yes, but they screwed up. Even some of my friends screw up sometimes. They listen to their bloody daddies and their mummies sometimes to a point who are older, probably in their 40s and their 50s, and then they have their parents like in their 60s or 70s, and they don't know jack shit. Right? There's a lot of times where a lot of truth is going to come out. Eventually, you've got what you need, but the facts are all there black and white. So when you got the experimental engines trying to fucking wiggle around your private lives, you won't be in the same boat as me. You won't be funny at all. You'd be like saying shit. I told you from day one, targeting me will be your downfall. Right? There's a lot of hope in this. But you have to be bloody honest with everybody. You can't run around in circles and say, oh, yeah, right, we understand now. It's not a game, it's not a chase, it's not a race. It just has to be bloody damn really thought about. I said, yeah, well, did you ever realise what was going on? Some people have worked it out, but they had to keep their mouth shut. So when they realise it's not a joke, I'm being serious, yes, but you have to get the understanding. It's a love and understanding. It's not. It's not nothing to do with the NSFT. No matter what they do, they screwed up big time, and they're losing money as much as the NHS and the Norfolk Railway. So work it all out. All three of them are getting white stripes right now. Why? Because they bloody lied, been deceitful and unkind, and not put the two pieces together. I said, why don't you just leave my family alone for once? We've gone through this once, we've gone through twice, we've gone through three times of this now, and this is the third time, and you're losing the plot. When somebody tells you he's in his 60s right now, Duck, he was fucking dead honest with you lot. He was honest, straightforward, to the point. You thought he went cuckoo? I'm not going to say this for the record now. The NHS has to fucking understand. This is not a game, it's not a race, and it's not a chase. When we think about it hard enough, put it together. The anagrams weren't all everything for you. All you had to do is follow your railway keys, follow your answers, follow the clues, follow the straight point. And then when it comes down to you, and you're working hard on that bloody keyboard, doing all the paperwork, ding, 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 like that, and it all adds up. The emails, the telephone numbers, and postage included. I said enough is enough. Grow up and restate my real name to Stephen Topham Hatt the Third. Sir Stephen Topham Hatt the Third, to you. And everybody that has to work with this is hope. It may be on my birth certificate as Stephen Manson, but in reality it's an anagram to confuse you all. So wake up and smell the damn coffee. When people look at me, they know who I am, what I am, and understand what I am. I'm not a bully, I'm not Diesel 10, so I can't beat any of those. So don't push me to the edge. You're getting the hope you need. But it's pushing that little further to tell you people know, but they don't want to say it out loud. In every day of this book is unfolding in the correct way. But the more you pressurize me, or tell me, oh, I like to book an appointment with you, I like to see you, la la la, N-O. Why? Because a lot of you are in different areas, different locations, different everything. It all unfolds in the correct way. Grow up. I know it's difficult for a lot of people not seeing it or understanding it, and it unfolds the correct way. Stop pissing about with it because it's hope. Hope is on the route. Right? Hope is the key. Hope of understanding. Hope, love, and understanding. Keys. Right? They all tell you something in some direction. I said, it's not just about my name. And as Stephen Topham at the third, or Sir Stephen Topham at the third, you're getting everything you need. But you've got to be very patient. When you look in the mirror and you wake up in the morning and you're about to go to work and you thought, bing, bada, boom, it all adds up. When you want something bad enough, don't come crying wolf. I said it's all true, it's all logic, and it's all facts. There are people around me that don't know the full whack of this story. It's a very complex story and it repeats and repeats and repeats. And a lot of people make the same fucking mistakes. It's not a game to be meddled with. It's a real life event which nobody realised. Right? When the Hatt member family returns, which it was me, then it'd be my son, then my granddaughter, grow up. Then you're asking them, people are asking that question now. I'm not going to break the chain, nor should you. You know, when I work hard, I don't bullshit. Right? It takes a lot of patience to realise why it unfolds the way it does. I know a lot of people got questions that want answering on a plate, but you can't have it all. It unfolds naturally like it would do. You know, when people want something bad enough, they get what they want. You may duck a fucking cuckoo lander, I'm gonna fuck you up. Excuse my language, but it really bloody makes me angry. I said, don't fuck me or duck up. Because the last thing you want is to lose a Great Western engine on the fucking island. I know it's hard because he's in human form, but you screwed him up, I'm gonna screw you up. Because you try to hurt me when you wasn't meant to be. Right, I know what's unfolded so far. I knew what was planning out unfoldedly. All you had to do was play it out. Don't fuck about saying, oh crap. Yeah, well, it is crap for you because you've been stuck in the shit. Because you didn't realise the real life event was kicking in before I was born. And now you're getting all the hope you want. Now you've got to understand why. I've got a life to lead. I've only got nearly 40 years or 50 years left. And people are asking me the biggest question. Why is that? Why is that, sir? Come on, Thomas, you know every trick in the book. Oh, yeah, I totally forgotten these bastards really kicked you up with the stink. That's right, Thomas, in every angle. So back off. Some words to use it. You think I said it to the Norfolk Railway before I got booted? I said it was their fucking fault, not mine. Because I wasn't physically abusive. So that's a lie. Number one. Number two, verbally a little bit high pitched, but overall normal as it would be. But the thing is, Diesel, Andrew Mudland took it too far, pushed it too far, and ending up with something a bit dangerous than his money's worth. So by booting me out, right, He made confusion and delay, lied to the fucking damn stations and everything else. I said I'm not a bad person. You screwed up. Right? The NHS screwed up. That was the next one on the line. Why? Because they screwed up because of connections. Their connections, not mine. That's why I have the experimental engines as a blank. You see, when you realise that the experimental engines are nothing to do with me, it's because it's diesel department. So they may be steamies, but they are blank because they're not owned by me. When it's all told you in truth, keep away from Joe Newman and Graham and Dr. Wallace. They don't know jack shit. I told them to stay where they are. Right? In the end of the day, they broke the railway code. They broke the railway code. Broke the railway code. It's something that was kept in the families for a lot of times and a lot of reasons. Only I know it, and that's that. Why? Your railway keys lead to people, but you won't listen. And you're going to listen to good, because I'm making this as a 2-year podcast, and I make sure the facts get out. I said every TV show, every movie, everything has facts and truth and logic. We have safeguards put up in everything. So the new Harry Potter that's coming up on HBO right now, it's a new reboot. And it's got the same safeguards on us. So when you think about it, you screwed up. So when you realise it's realistic, facts and truth, the experimental engines can't do nothing now because they're going to get fired. Because they have to be fired to get them a job they were capable of doing. They're not a bunch of arse-wipes. When you think about it, don't mess around with me. Because the more you mess around with me, then you're screwing up a lot. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. It's dead straight. Right? A lot of people that I know shouldn't be on my friends list. Because that made a connection with the NSFT and NSFT made the bing bang boom. So, when it all comes down to truth, don't expect the consequences to come round because you made the consequences first. So did Duck telling Porter to put me in bloody hospital. I said, fuck off, not on my watch. Because what they didn't know then, they know now. Why? Because end of the day, you have to be realistic. So, Porter, right, had flower power down his throat, which is true. You know the Steam Team episode when Nia's involved, Porter's involved, myself, and all of that. That's all fucking true. But you just didn't see it because it was unfolding in the Albion, in Cromer, /Natford. So, when it all plays out for you, don't screw it up because it was unfolding in front of you. Like I said, you pushed so damn bloody far that you've forgotten where you're standing. You just didn't realise what you got to do next. Right? There's a lot of truth, a lot of logic, and a lot of respect in my family. Don't disrespect me now because it's all bloody coming out as a wristwash. In truth. Why? Because now the truth is hurting you. Because you don't like the truth, do you? And when it comes out for you, then things start to unfold. Big time, big style. We're not running for my responsibilities either, but I have to do what is needed. A lot of people think this is all about telephone calling, text calling, or emailing, or anything. Being the day, I don't know how much of your screw ups that I have to clear up. Right, there's always hope. If it wasn't for the steelworks for understanding what's unfolding, they left me alone. Of course, there was one person in there that didn't believe what was unfolding. Right? There's always been one bad guy in it, one bad egg in the whole of it. Right? Which is true. I'm not blaming everyone in the NHS, for God's sake. But when you're dealing with the NHS in the health and the hospital, I always have connections everywhere. So when it unfolds in front of you, this is why my mum can't hack all your bullshit. You know, when it comes down to NSFT, back off. Because in the truth, in the end, it's all unfolding in truth. But you're not seeing it unfold because you don't live locally, you can't see it or understand it or anything. But when I got my own connections that got you lot in it, then you're all screwed. Because I know the NSFT, I don't own you. I don't own the experimental engines. As example, right? That's truth. That's logic and that's fact. Don't piss about with it. When you want hope, you have to be realistic. It's unfolding in the correct way. It's just a little bit longer right now because people are digging in, booking appointments, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, and it all adds up and it piles up, right? It builds up, right? When I tell certain private connection in there the same bloody same story, it's because it always unfolds in front of you. I've got no problems with the Albion. I've got no problems here. But in the day, when it comes down to black and white, then you're asking, people are asking, what is happening here? What's the confusion here? I said confusion and delay is on your part. Right? You know, in the day, people know they're in the story, but they don't know why. So my private connection in college at the time, in Vickerstown, managed to know about me before she did. So work it out. She's in probably in her 70s or 80s or 90s now. It'll probably even passed away. God bless her soul. But in the day, wake up and smell a damn coffee. It's real. It's realistic. You can't change it. And all you're doing is making slip ups. I catch your slip ups. Bang. Out you go. Right? It doesn't apply to everybody. But a lot of people just don't see the real life event unfolding in the correct way. I said to you that my friends and my family and my connections have got a lot to do with it. Right? I'm not being a bad guy. I'm not a bad person. Right? The only thing is, when you've got a hat in the field, you do not mess with my timeline when it's unfolding in front of your eyes. People know what's unfolding, but they just have to let it unfold naturally. But in the day, for people that are not around this, watch out because you're about to get burnt. Right? There's a lot of people out there that know this too damn bloody well. Right? Hope is there. Hope, right? Is there. Nothing is impossible. Believe in an impossible. Just don't bloody come to me when the answer has already been given to you. Right? You don't want to be. There's a lot to be thought about. Thinking cap up here. Right? When a lot about this is all true, it's all facts, it's all logic, and it's all that. Right? A lot of people, Dr. Wallace, who is Merlin and all of this, he started to know everything that I know. But he can't pass the buck with all the doctors. Right? So he has to password it all to safeguard me. Right? In the end of the day, when I told you we don't need harassment all the time, probably once a year, twice a year at max. But we don't need to be harassed because I have my annual mental health checkup, if you like to call it correctly, and it all goes to according to plan. As long as I keep doing that, I'm all right. Why don't you guys just see the realistic version of it? It's all telling you all in truth I know a lot of you don't have the time to see it, why it unfolded the way it did. Why a lot of people do believe in magic, yes, but you have to be realistic. It's not gonna run away, it's just a bloody way it unfolds in front of you. Hope. Hope has always been a vital key. It's like saying, I am born out of love, born out of respect, honesty, and everything. But at the same time, you bloody throwing the dirt in my face, basically saying, or coal dust, if you like to call it correctly. But you're not gonna bloody win because it doesn't work. Why? And when people do these things, they do it for a damn good reason. When people want something bad enough, don't cry wolf when the answer's already there in black and white for you. Right? When a lot of people get the grip and the grab and all of that, they have to be realistic about these things. It takes a long, long commitment and time. Sometimes it takes shorter time, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than normal. But people are bloody pushing me to the edge. Why? Because what they want to do is really want to destroy your future. The future you were meant to have is a needy, not a wanty. Right? It's the truth, it's the fact, it's the logic. Right? I know what was meant to unfold for you. I'll be around. But even day, the truth will always set you free, but at the same time, the hacks are everywhere. So is my family and connections and so forth. I said everything is playing out. Why can't you just leave it and let it unfold naturally? Okay, a lot of people have been pushing me. There will be one day when people are going to start asking me questions when they don't need to. Right? People make silly mistakes. Right? A lot of my connections keep their mouth shut when they know the story inside and out. When people haven't been brought up with this story or of the actual Thomas franchise, I said it's repeating and it's repeating 3 times already. Don't mess up because you're ending up with nothing in the end. But I already know what the unfoldment is after that book and the TV show. End of the day, people get really well respected for it. But you have to be patient. I get the drill that people are bugging me, ringing me, texting me, emailing me, doing the same with my mother. My mother will have an epileptic fit one day and she will kill herself because that's what I don't need to see on the menu. Right? I get that. My father's still alive, Charles Topham Hatt II. So why don't you just let it unfold naturally? Why don't you just let me do the things I need to do? Don't piss about with appointment cards or emails or telephone numbers or anything because I will always track you down and you're the ones that are gonna get starred. You're the ones that are gonna get burnt. You're the ones that are gonna get booted out. Why? Because you're on my land, my island. Grow up. It takes one hat to fix everything. But you've got to be realistic. When you talk about the island of Sodor and the old railway routes like the Great Eastern and the Middle and Great Northern, that's true. But you then got to realise, oh fuck, he's white. Yeah, well, when it's all there in black and white, while the NHS wasn't funded, right? Everything was playing out in the correct way. My private connection, William Marriott, was all in play, and everybody else, that we all knew about it. But you gotta be wake up and smell the fucking damn coffee. Right, there's a lot of logic in this where a lot of people are still bugging me today. Right, one day they will break their own storyline when they shouldn't done. So when they go back to Journey Beyond Sodor, is where the flaming ending is, ding ding, your steelworks is your home. Goodbye. And that'd be a giant fuck you to Lexi, who is Joe Newman, and then you got Merlin, Dr. Wallace on top, and then you got Graham as Hurricane. So grow up. It's realistic, not a children's book. And don't treat my race like a bloody pile of shit. Because we are different to you. We can see things a little bit further than you. We know a lot of my family does have this gift. But we're not bullshitters. We're not assholes. We're not criminals. We're not thieves. We're not bullies. We're not nothing. If you don't like the truth, then ask yourself a question: why do you live then? Then your families will end up telling you, saying you're related to this person or you're friends with this person, not the other way round. You can't use work on me because this is another example. When you work, right, besides me and my wife only, everything else is right work related. Basically, as you understand, right, the NSFT is work related, right? You can't mix me with that. You cannot. It won't work. It will never work. Why? Because whatever I say slips. Why? I know what's unfolding in truth in my head. Why? I just got to play it out correctly because one day you will find out why. And one day you will understand everything. But at this moment, while it's unfolding in front of you, you're starting to wake up. Smell the coffee. Routine. Right? You're going to end up realizing shit. He's not kidding. I said, why don't you just get it? A lot of people make mistakes in their lives, right? I get that. But I'm not focusing on my family here. I'm focusing on the experimental engines as example. They will bug me until they get what they fucking damn want. And when they slow down the bloody timeline, they're screwing up. Right? When they come to me, I tell them to bug off. Or back off, the words to use. Because they are dealing with bad damage. I said what Janeway says, don't meddle with the Temple Prime Directive. Right? And the end of the day, you're screwing up your own bloody timeline with mine when you shouldn't have done. Right? You screwed up Darks. You bloody messed his head up, number one. Then you try to get to me, number two. Trying to get to my grandfathers, 3 and 4, may I add. Then Herbert Cossey, number 5. So back off. When you lot all want need, things are going to cough up. Right? People need something more valuable now. It's not just about the money finances. It's not just about the job you earn for. Right? When you're dealing with me, you lot should be growing up and learning that it's a fact. It's the truth and logic, the reason why everybody's targeting me. They want me where they want me, basically, layman terms, and they want to see why. Hope, hope, hope. I'm not repeating that word again, but why do you think the Norfolk Railway's fucked up? Because they booted me out for the truth. Why? The NHS nurse that actually worked at Helston Hospital is Joe Mugden. So when I caught her picture on the bloody fucking wall, what does that tell me? Red flag. She told me that she's the one that sent me here to Helston Hospital, which is still works. So wake up. Former NHS nurse working on the North Norfolk Railway, not good. Doesn't give you a good reputation either. So when she was asking me what's wrong, I told her to back off. So when it all comes to truth and logic on this, don't piss about with it. Because it's hurting you as it is hurting me. So the more you want as example, then you're asking for the needs. And when the needs come along, you screwed up because you booted me out, done everything else, and you screwed up the whole bloody time stream. And I'm now fixing it because I said when Jane May was coming back to the Delta from the Delta quadrant to the Alpha quadrant, she said we're almost home. She had to deal with the Borg Queen. Why? As another example for you. Why? It's reality, yes, but you're not playing realistic anymore. And what's happened is a real life event underneath. So you basically screwed your futures up because you couldn't get the stories right. And now I'm putting the stories right for you. All you had to do is play it correctly. You see, in the end of the day, I know who my true friends are. But in the day, the NSFT are going to boot out 3 of their employees for being negligently being connected with Thomas and Friends of Journey Beyond Sodor. So that's 3 out of the bin bag. So if you want everything to unfold correctly, I said it unfolded in the right way, but you screwed up. So let's talk about other things like why why is all your family connected to everything? Pieces of puzzle everywhere. So while you screwed up right now, read all of it, watch all of it, and piss off. Basically, you're taking it from me. But that doesn't apply to Sheringham or Cromer. It just applies to people that are hurting me. And that really does piss me off. And I'm not really angry with anyone. So I'm not Diesel 10, I'm just Tom's a tank and a fat man. I have to be strict and stern to get everybody's attention to realise it's reality they're dealing with. You can't meddle with the past or the present or the future because it's all set in stone. So when you've got the Iron Swan song that's no longer alive anymore, it's actually a swan song. Why? Because Emily Helen Hatt is there when I'm there. So wake up and smell the damn coffee. Thank you very much. In every angle.